invalid, a psychological vegetable. Never stand for yourself, never articulate for yourself, never know for yourself. And so it's so important that leaders mentor potential leaders, because when you do that, you multiply your effectiveness. Here's what you got to understand. When we talk about collaboration, and I'm going to deal with that in teamwork in a moment, but when people work for a common cause, they no longer add to their growth potential, they multiply it. Look at what George Barner said. He said this. He said, great organizations, watch this, may have great leaders and a poor structure. But I've never seen a great organization that had great structure and poor leaders. In other words, you may not even have all the pieces in the right places, but if you got the right people, you can create the right places. Yes. Did you hear what I said? You may not have all the pieces. You may not be the best planner. But if you're good at people, and if you're good at empowering, see, you can't be narcissistic and empower people. You can't be strong-handed and empower people, because what happens is you end up strangling out their identity, and now they just melt into you. And so watch what happens. If everybody just follows you because you said this we're going to do, whenever you need some value to draw out of, to bring energy to your vision, guess what you discover? Ain't nobody there, right? And you're like, boy, I wish I had somebody just to stimulate this. I wish I had somebody to create a fire. When you strangle the fire out of it. Right. And so what you got to understand is a great leader multiplies their effectiveness when they mentor potential leaders, when they mobilize potential leaders. Just look over at somebody close to you and say, go. That's what a great leader does. Whether it's a co-worker, whether it's family, whether it's a business, you want to encourage everybody around you to do something that you're not doing, or to do something that they're better at doing than you. Yes. Henry Ford said this, it's amazing, the father of the automobile. He said, you can take my factories, burn up my buildings, but he said, if you give me my people, I'll build it all again. You got to get this, people. The greatest asset to your life is having the right people around your life. Whether you're the one leading other people or whether you're the one being led, is to make sure you recruit folk around you. Somebody was talking to me a moment ago during the break, and I was telling them, they were talking about the challenge of the paradox they're in of recognizing that there's more in front of them than behind them, and that it's time for them to disconnect some relationships for the possibilities of where they belong. And they said, well, you know, I don't want to leave them behind. I said, wrong language. Right. I said, you're not leaving them behind, they're choosing to stay behind. You got to change how you see them. But there's three relationships that you need in your life. Because if you want to multiply your effectiveness, there are three relationships you need. Number one, you need a mentor. You've got to have a mentor. Find somebody, even if you can't get their direct mentorship, somebody who just the consistency of who they are provides for you the teaching you need for your transformation, just from their life. You may not even be able to get close, may not be able to call them on the phone, have a conversation, but you can follow them on Twitter or subscribe to their resources, or just watch their pattern of process, depending on the proximity and their life speaks. But you need somebody, at least one person in your life who appeals to the passion and purpose of your life, that when you look at them, it speaks to you. So everybody needs a mentor. Secondly, everybody needs a partner. You need a mentor, you need a partner. You need somebody who can walk alongside you. Now here's the power of a partner. The power of a partner is they have a duality in their role. They are both mentor as well as supporter. That's the power of a partner. So you need a mentor, but don't expect your mentor to necessarily become your friend. You know, they care about your life, but a mentor is about forward movement. They ain't really considering your feelings and whether, you know what I'm saying? Their job is to move you forward. Their relationship with you is about what the rest of you look like. So on most days, if you have direct contact, you're going to be more mad than glad. You'll get glad after mad. Right. But you're going to be more mad than glad. But then what makes up for that is that partner who reinforces what the mentor says, but also supports you. So they give you room to vent. You know, the partner lets you say, that was just stupid. Because they know you need to vent. They give you room for that. They give you room to vacillate and mess up a few times. So you need a partner in your life. You just can't do it with a mentor. You need a partner. And then thirdly, you need a protege. Protege. You need a protege. You need somebody that's following your life. Now, I'm going to tell you why that's so important. And it's something that I espouse to called generational leadership. I believe every person in this room needs at least two other people that have an interest in your purpose and passion, that you make yourself accountable for them. Not to them, but for them. You're accountable to your mentor, but you make yourself accountable for your protege. The power of a protege is a protege actually complements a mentor. Because whereas the mentor is in front of you, pulling you, the protege is behind you, pushing you, because the protege is saying, I can't move any further than you move. So if they bump into you, that means you're going too slow. You're not moving consistent. You understand what I'm saying? So you need all three of these relationships in your life, because I tell you, we've got to deal with process here, and this will help you with that fade 5, with the people closest to your life. It's got to be shaped around that, and you'll learn very quickly in being selective. And I watch some of your eyes, and your eyes tell where your mind is. When I was talking about Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, and about how whenever there's stories about their lives, there's very few friends that are interviewed. And the opposite is true of infamous people. Notice infamous people, probably part of the reason they become infamous is they have too many of the wrong friends. I mean, they folk come out the woodwork, yeah, child, I knew it because I tell you she was a... That says a lot. No, pay attention to the news. People that are known in the news for negative things, boy, they'll find some dirt. That's right. And find the folk with the dirt. Because the individual had too many people, which is probably maybe what contributed to the dirt, are the people they had around them. But great people, is very few folk they can interview. I mean, it's just intriguing. I watch some of your eyes because you begin to calculate that. Number one, there's something that comes with the stature of great people, that the people they allow close to them are people that have as much to lose as they do. So they limit it. I'm friendly with everybody. And because I'm friendly with everybody, everybody thinks they're my friend, while they know nothing about me at all. I know, Rick, no you don't. But I make you feel like you do. So if they interview you, like, I don't have nothing to say. That's on purpose. I only want a handful of people to be able to be interviewed about me. Right. And I want it to be people that's got as much to lose as I have to. That's right. You understand what I'm saying? But that comes with greatness. That comes with knowing what you're worth. And making sure that the friends in your life, number one, are people that are encouraging the best out of your life. So the reason for who's around me is not to cover anything. The reason for the people around me is so there's nothing that has to be covered. Yes. Y'all didn't get it the first time. Y'all didn't get it the first time. First time I said, like, my friends ain't coming. No, that ain't a real friend. I don't need somebody to encourage dysfunction. Because then with or without a friend, you're going to do it to yourself. That's right. But I want people around my life that encourage and cultivate and catalyze the best out of my life. That's why I say you don't try to make a companion and a collaborator out of a competitor. Because if somebody trying to beat you at being you, they're not going to encourage you.
Jesus.
So if I know somebody trying to beat me at being me, we can't hang together. It's some people, and it's sad. There's some people that call me, and I hate, I mean this, and I use this word, I use it carefully. So when I say it, I mean it. I abhor, I hate having to have conversations with people who I know are takers and wasters and have no value of who I am. Because the only thing I know how to talk about is ideas. It comes out of my pores. I've been married now about 2 years, and so my wife has identified it, and she was like, she said, as big as your mind is, your heart is even bigger. And so I thank God for her, because now she keeps me tempered. So, because if I find somebody that's empty and wants some, I'll just pour into them. And so she helps keep me tempered. She was like, don't give them that much if they don't show that much value. So it's helped me a lot. I waited 40 years to get married, so that's a long time, you know. So, and I found that she was worth the wait. I do that over again. That's wonderful. Never mind. Okay, that's enough. I'm off on something else. But it's helped me out because what happens, and so when I have to engage, and it makes it worse when somebody's giving themselves the tag of a friend, and she helped me with that. She said, be careful of calling somebody friend that don't call you that. You ever had somebody, because you like people, my friend, notice they never said it about you. Right. And they like that tag, so they take advantage of the privileges of you saying they're your friend, so they call you. And I don't like being perfunctory or patronage. Like, I don't like just talking just to talk vicariously because somebody needs to talk. Right. I get drained when people, and I just, that drain. I don't like talking just to talk. And I don't like patronage. I don't like being forced into situations where I got to say something about you, but I got to stretch. I don't like that pressure. So when I find myself in a position where I got to talk to somebody, but I know they don't have a value on what I can give them, then I got to work against myself to find something to say that won't be giving away what I know they don't value. That's a hard thing to do. It way out. So if I see them call, now with these iPhones, you can just actually put them on the list. Yes. I thank God for the new one. You just put them on the list, and literally, if y'all ain't found it, you need to find it. It'll bless your life and give you a breakthrough. You can put them on a list, and they literally will not ring your phone. Yes, right. It's an iPhone 5S. You can put, they will not ring your phone. It won't let them through. So you can literally say, I didn't get your call. No, I didn't. No, I'm serious. Because I told you, time is your greatest resource. People are your greatest commodity. And you can't let the wrong people waste the best of your resources. Yes. All right, let me finish this. Let me move forward. So the more people you lead, the more leaders you need. This is very important. Andrew Carnegie, a contemporary of John Rockefeller, said, I wish to have on my epitaph, here lies a man who was wise enough to bring into his service men who knew more than him. Listen, if you want to be more productive, you're going to have to bring more leaders around you. Yes. I need y'all to hear me. Yes. You can't say, you can't have a plan and a vision that I want to accomplish something I've never accomplished in 30 years and still operate with the same 3 people in your life. It's not going to happen. It's a pipe dream. It's a fantasy. If you're going to be more productive, just write it like this. More productivity equals more people. More productivity equals more people. You can't be more productive without bringing more people around your life who can help you accomplish something greater. And there's something I call the 101% principle. It's a powerful principle. If you try it and apply it, it'll revolutionize relationships and ultimately expand your productivity. The 101% principle says find one thing that's great about the people closest to you and give 100% of yourself to it for their development. instead of focusing on all of the deficiencies and dysfunctions in an individual, find where they're great. Find one area as a leader. And again, because your life is not compartmentalized, do this for every area of your life. Relationships, business, every context of your life. The first thing it does is it eliminates frustration. It's a pressure release. Because you stop imposing demands on people that they don't have the capacity to meet in the first place. But secondly, it becomes fulfilling and rewarding because you start seeing real-time results for your effort. So now you eliminate the dysfunction in the relationship because you got an expectation from them that they don't have the capacity to meet. But then on the other side, you stimulate productivity out of them, which now gives you a sense of fulfillment for the effort you put in.
Yes, sir.
So apply this. It's called the 101% principle. Find one thing that's great about a person and give 100% to it. And what's going to be most intriguing about it is they will start making their own discoveries about themselves and initiating the process of development in themselves, because now they're realizing that maybe there are some things they took on in their life that was never designed to be their life. One of the things we miss, I'm dealing with, if you can be tonight, you need to. I'm dealing with tonight. It's in your hands, and it's going to provoke you to another posture for just infinite productivity in your life, because I've discovered that most people have the wrong life because they've been working with the wrong hand. And they've been trying to use things. They've been trying to use things in their life to produce what they want for their life. But the only problem is because it was not what was the design of their life, then they're not getting out what they're putting in. It ain't the wrong life. You just got the wrong hand. I'll deal with that tonight and get no more than that. So now let's go. Here's the end of this, and then I want to deal with teamwork with the last 30 minutes. There are 10 variables. We're getting ready to do a real evaluation of your leadership potential. We're not going to teach all these principles and not have process. So this is where the rubber meets the road. I told you this is dialogue. This is real. If you need me to repeat anything now, I'll repeat it. If you've got an insight or a concept, we can engage it. But you can talk back to me, so you don't just have to listen. I'm not dictating. This is dialogue. This is deliberate. This is a conversation because I want you to be able to apply everything that you're hearing. So we're getting ready. Every person in this room is getting ready to evaluate yourself in the 10 areas of leadership potential. The 10 areas I'm about to give you are the most important areas. Did they never get the handouts of the notes?
Yes, they have it.
Oh, they did, okay. So in your notes, there are 10 areas, and we're actually going to evaluate and grade. And then I'm going to ask for some daring souls to share their assessment at the end. So you get ready to be graded on this by yourself. So this is a self-test. There are 10 areas here because we're dealing with the leading edge. We're dealing with expectation, development, goals, and excellence. We're dealing with your life coming to a place beyond what it has already been to produce what you've never seen. And these are the 10 factors that determines what come out of your life. What I'm getting ready to give you now, I want you to hear this, let me set this up. What I'm getting ready to give you now goes beyond your talents, goes beyond your abilities, goes beyond your gifts, goes beyond your IQ, goes beyond how cognitive you are, cerebral you are, or erudite you are. It has nothing to do with that. When you deal with leadership, there are some key variables that are non-negotiable. So the next 10 things I'm getting ready to give you are non-negotiables of leadership, and it's these things that determine your level of leadership potential. So you get ready to see in real time, without the biased opinion of anybody else, for yourself where you are. And that's going to determine how much value you're adding to others. And it's also going to give you a good litmus test of how much you've grown and what's been added to you. Or whether somebody's been actually adding to you. Y'all ready? Yes. All right, let's go. So here's how you grade yourself. You can only grade 1 through 5. All right? 5 is the highest score you can give yourself. So for each of these, 5 is great, 4 is good, 3 is fair, 2 is failing, and 1 is 911. So as I go through each of them, I'm going to explain them. If you say I'm great in this area, put 5. If you say I'm good, put 4. If you say borderline, sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, put 3. If you say, you know what, I want to work on this, but it hasn't happened yet, put 2. And if you like, you know what, all I know is see the words on the page, I've never explored it, didn't even know that mattered, be honest and put 1, and then we'll do a final assessment and score it together. All right, so number 1 is positiveness. Positiveness. The ability to work with and see people and situations in a positive way. Score yourself. 5 to 1. Are y'all seeing the page? Y'all don't have that page?
You got that page.